So anyways, I'm watching that channel, and the next thing Nia recorded was this thing about the... it looked like those same guys that I saw when I was in London, the Middle Eastern dudes who fly on a cargo plane, fly in all their fucking cars with this same ridiculous wrap, you know? Or maybe it's a paint job. I think it's a wrap that they put on there, you know what I mean? They got like the fucking... it's like that mirrored finish, like those three people in Shanghai now with the gold suits. They'll do that to like Mercedes and all that. Well, when they're back in their country, another status symbol is to own a like endangered species or exotic animals, as they call them. And these fucking guys, they owned like cheetahs and lions and tigers. It was the most disturbing fucking thing. And I'm not even coming at this in like a PETA way. I just sat there going like, dude, that is a fucking lion. You got it on a leash? And these things kept, you know, they'd have their friends over and they'd sort of lunge at them, and then the friends would jump out of the way and be like, whoa, whoa, ha, 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 like laughing. It's just like, if you saw how big these fucking things were, it's just like, they could like sort of like at 30%, like bitch slap a refrigerator and the thing would tip over and go flying across the fucking room. You know what I mean? And these guys are fucking with these things. So this fucking lady goes over there, this white lady, making white people look fucking stupid as shit. She's like, she fucking goes over to this guy's goddamn house. He's got a giant fucking lion. All right? And he goes, well, we'll get, or a tiger or some shit. And he goes, all right, we'll get you comfortable. We'll let you play with some smaller ones first. So she's playing with these little ones, and immediately I was like, I wouldn't fuck with that. A long time ago, I was on Opie and Anthony. They brought in a baby tiger, one of those little white ones or some shit. And they asked me if I wanted to hold it. I was like, no. The thing was upset. It didn't want to fucking be there. And I've been scratched by a house cat. Fucking killed. Right now, all it got me with one goddamn claw went right down my forearm. I had to put all this shit on it so I wouldn't get some sort of goddamn disease. And I'm looking at this cute little baby tiger or lion, whatever the fuck it was. One of those Siegfried and Roy ones. The Mariah Carey one where it's all fucking white, you know? And I'm just looking at the size of its fucking paws. I'm like, that thing's paws already are like 4 times the size of a house cat. I've got scratched by a house cat. This thing's in a bad mood. I don't want to deal with the thing. You know what's funny? He was actually scratched Anthony, if I remember correctly, and he had to get like a tetanus shot. Or something. Some sort of ointment had to be put on his fucking neck. So anyway, so this lady goes in there, right? And she's playing with them. She's like, oh my God, they're so adorable. And was really not impressed with the intellect of the woman. I thought they could have got somebody a lot fucking smarter, right? So then she goes outside to meet this lion. Okay? This lioness. And there's no way to describe to you how big a fucking lion is. It's not very often that you get to see a person standing next to a goddamn lion. She walks up to in the general area of this thing, and the thing's immediately looking at her. The way a fucking wild animal looks at you, you know what I mean? It's the same way. I've always said this. It's the same way like a fucking hooker looks at you, where there's no bullshit, you know? You go to a bar, some woman looks at you, you know, for all you know, she's just trying to get a fucking drink. A hooker looks at you, it's the real deal. Like, yeah, I will fuck you, okay? If the circumstances are, you know, if you got the money, I will fuck you, right? It's the same thing with, like, lions. They looking at you like if the opportunity arises, I will kill you. You know, dogs don't look at you like that. Fucking lions look at you. You know, cats attempt it. House cats, you know, you turn around, you catch them stalking you and shit. But then you look at them, and then they fucking run away. All right? Picture a cat doing that, a house cat. But you turn around, and it's a lion. And it doesn't run away. It fucking lunges at you. Or maybe gives you that refrigerator bitch slap, right? So this fucking thing is looking at her, and he's the owner who has no training whatsoever. Brings this fucking thing up. Dude, my palms were like sweaty. I had to get, well, I was watching it in bed. I literally stood up going, what the fuck are you doing? So the thing comes over, immediately starts crawling on top of her. It's on top of her. And then she puts her hands on the side of the thing and starts like, you know, rubbing it like it's a giant dog. And all I remember was that there's that YouTube video of that stuntman who worked with bears, and he had brought some sort of relative in there who wanted to learn how to work with bears, and he told him to keep his hands down by his side. And the bear came up and like stood up on its back legs, put its paws on the dude's shoulder, and he instinctively put his hands on either side of the bear, which the bear took as like an aggressive move and wanted to fight, and it fucking killed this guy. So she puts her hands there, and I see that, I go, oh, fuck, is this thing like a bear? I don't fucking know. And all of a sudden, she got just a little bit scared, and then the thing like collapsed down on her, and it got weird really quick. And then the guy stood up with this rope fucking leash and like quickly tries to pull the lion away, which she does. And this woman gets up like, oh, wow, that was like I feel like that was like a spiritual experience. Blah, blah. It's like, bitch, you almost got fucking killed. And then the guy goes, yeah, you got scared and it senses your fear. And then, oh, God, thank God she didn't make any high-pitched noise, like the sound of an animal, like, suffering. You know what I mean? You ever hear, like, a dog toy, you know, when they bite on it, it makes that high-pitched noise? It excites the predator in them. And so I say to Nia, I go, how far into this show before they show us somebody who got killed? I go, I say about 17 minutes. They didn't. It was at the end of the show. And they were just like, 2 weeks after we left. So this fucking woman, basically, the housekeeper comes in. All right? She didn't fucking do anything. She's not like these fucking guys who, for some reason, like, it's just total, like, male ego shit, trying to outdo the other fucking rich guy down the street that they get these things. They don't know anything about the animals. They fucking... At least that's the way it was presented. They didn't know shit about the fucking animals, and then they were like, no, the thing has a better life living here. It's walking around in a fucking cage. You know, it's like, dude, would you want to walk around in a cage? I mean, you could always get knifed. You could get killed the same way an animal could in the wild. It's a fucking lion. Who's killing a lion other than another human being? So anyways, this fucking housekeeper came in, and she got mauled by these fucking lions, and they bring the woman in, and the guy tried to say a dog did it. And they were like, these injuries are a little more than a dog. And then the owner is like, well, whatever do you mean? It's like, well, she's missing her left arm and the claw marks on this. And so you know what the fucking asshole did? He had 3 lions. He went home. He shot all of them and then burned their bodies out in the desert. So so nothing would fucking happen to him. And it was just like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there you go. There you go, fucking inevitable. They had like cheetahs. This guy's riding in a fucking 6-wheeled Mercedes with a fucking cheetah. And that woman's getting in the car going, oh, it's acting just like a dog. It's panning, it's looking out the window. Maybe they had to get somebody. I'm not saying she was not a smart person. She just wasn't very aware of the situation, I feel. And I just kept hearing, like, there was back in the day, like 50 Def Jam comics did bits about how white people fuck with wild animals. And so in a way, I'm like, oh, this is good. For once, it's not white people being idiots with wild animals. You know, now it's Arabs. let's take a little heat off of Whitey, and then they bring this white lady in there, and she fucking does everything that, every one of those bits says that we do. What's going on? Oh, it's Christmas, Nene.
I know.
City sidewalks, pretty ladies, everybody walking around, spending money on people that annoy them. Take your dick out at a Charger game. Rub it up and fucking down.
Oh, no.
I feel so bad for that kid.
Why? Why do you feel bad?
Because I have a dick and I know how hard it is.
You know how hard it is?
No, sorry, no pun intended.
He was in public.
I know, but he just looked like that kind of guy. He didn't know how to talk. Look, if he's a fucking, like, seriously, I mean, if he's fucking, like...
If he can't control rubbing his dick in public,
It was entrapment. They had, like, 12 fucking scantily clad women, and the whole thing...
Entrapment, Bill?
What? Let me ask you a question.
He was at a game. There's cheerleaders there.
And how are they dressed?
Oh, so it's their fault? That
How are they
dress like
dressed?
cheerleaders, the way cheerleaders are always dressed. That this.
Why
fucking
can't you
pervert
guys ever
can't-
be flattered when a man flashes
Oh
you?
God, no! It's disgusting.
If a fucking woman ever just whipped her hoo-ha out because I look so good in a fucking T-shirt, it would just fucking make my day. As long as she stayed away from me. I mean, she was doing his own thing. You know what's
He was a
hilarious?
fucking pervert.
The way
He's doing it in public.
You know what I loved? The way he had his arms crossed. He was like, "Well, I can't see what I'm doing. That means no one else can." He had a new technique. I never tried the overhand before.
Oh, God. No self-control.
The crossover overhand. That's like Olympic level jerking off through his pants. You know? Look, everybody, that's how you get caught, You can't, he got greedy is what happened. You know what I mean? He thought he could, he thought he could do it. It was like fucking 20,000 people staring right at him.
Idiot.
Yeah, but okay, and look, when I'm talking about those cheerleaders, why are they out there, Nia? Why are they really out there to stir the crowd up to
spread
cheer
cheer.
more? No, they're not.
Spread cheer.
They dress them like fucking, like just shy of whoas. That's what they're out there for. They got their cleavage. They got their butt cheeks hanging out. Everything's barely covered. Everything's
Ants?
all shiny, glittery. All glittery and shit, Hey, what the fuck was he supposed to do,
Not touch his dick in public.
Hey.
That's what he was supposed to do.
There but for the grace of God go I. Okay?
Are you really trying to say that you would be in a position where you would just be jerking off through your pants in public like that?
I have to be honest with you. I've never stood next to 12 women all dressed in the same sparkly outfit, touching their toes in front of me, wearing some very user-friendly slacks.
So, action slacks, maybe.
Action slacks they were.
And if you're saying you wouldn't be able to control yourself?
I would say
You have to touch your
if
dick.
I have to
You
take my
have
my
to.
life savings, there's no way I'm betting on black slacks. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to put it all on one thing. I don't know what I would do if I had a couple drinks in me. Who knows? Might do the old.
No, who knows? No, who knows?
Yeah, every guy's done that.
Done what? Jerk off in public?
Oh, absolutely.
No, they have
At
not.
some point, they did something. They were in their car. They rubbed one out. They did something. They were on a porch.
Well, guys are always tugging
On a
at their
plane,
tits.
on a
Really
plane, they went to the bathroom and just rubbed one out. The amount of men, I'm just saying the amount of fucking men who've done it.
Seriously?
Hey,
have
Nia.
you done that?
Yeah, you got to understand when.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Are you saying that you've gone into a plane, like a bathroom on a plane and jerked off? I swear
No,
to God.
I have not done
If
that.
You tell me that.
And what are you going to do?
I don't know.
All right, then.
I don't-
Scold me?
Yeah, scold you, shame
Listen,
you.
I know,
publicly.
listen, guys, I've
The way this
talked
guy
to
should
other
be
guys, shit that they've done or whatever, Hey, we've all done stuff we're not proud of. Didn't Jesus say he who's not fucking rubbed one out to a fucking cheerleader? You fucking cast the first. You know what I hate is if that's the worst that kid does. Okay, which is basically all he did was completely humiliate himself. All right, and his life is fucking over. I mean, isn't that enough? I feel bad for him. I do. Unless he's like really a pervert and he's running around grabbing women and he's ruining people's lives, then put the kid down like a rabid dog, without a doubt. But if his worst fucking, what I love about it is they say men can't multitask. There was a man clearly operating as a security person while rubbing one out.
Well,
that is multitasking.
He only had one hand free, so I don't really feel like he was at his full capacity as a security guard.
Well, a lot of security is just presence, just people seeing you.
Seeing you with your dick in your hand.
He had his gun in his hand. I feel bad for him.
Don't feel bad for him. Jesus Christ.
Just hear those sleigh bells ring-a-ling, ting, ting, ting-a-ling, too.
You're acting like he's like, a homeless child.
Come on and rub one out, fucking cheerleader or two. Keep it rubbing while everyone watches. Oh, my God. That poor bastard.